Right now at 11 o'clock, parents sounding off in Loudoun County about mask mandates and students walking out in D.C. demanding better protections to avoid quarantine.
7 News is on your side with team coverage now of the crisis that's going on in the classroom. Both of the issues in D.C. and Virginia were brought on by the pandemic.
In Loudoun, the district's mask mandate was the biggest topic, even though it wasn't even on the agenda.
7 News on your side's Justin Hinton is in Ashburn. That's where more than 100 parents signed up to speak, and Justin, almost all had something to say about the face coverings.
Yeah, this is really all part of that battle that's starting to play out in the courtroom, with school districts kind of choosing which order they're going to follow, right? Is it going to be Governor Glenn Youngkin, his executive order, which gave parents the option, or is it going to be state law, which requires school districts to follow CDC guidelines as close as possible? Well, a lot of parents made their voices heard tonight on which one they feel it should be.
The best thing to come out of our daughter's LCPS education the last 2 years has been learning how to be freedom fighters. They continue to endure your intimidation and inhumane treatment for the greater good, much like Rosa Parks did that day on the bus.
I don't want to stay like this forever, but the only way to keep our schools open in person is to continue masking.
She needs the option to not wear a mask during these incredibly important first years of her education. Start listening to parents. Follow EO2 exactly like you followed all of Northam's EOs.
Yeah, a lot of passion right there. Now, school leaders weren't the only target, though. A student board rep expressed her appreciation for the mask mandate, and members of the crowd could be heard disagreeing with her. Again, she's a student. She then stopped her speech, left the room, and came back later to finish with the board chair calling for decorum. Now, before all of this, the board discussed the superintendent's proposed budget. He increased it from a few weeks ago, making it around $88.8 million more than the previous year. And several parents and students wanted more funding for the arts and disagreed with the elimination of athletic fees and parking fees. Now, one other change we saw here tonight, the board was surrounded by plexiglass. I was told by a spokesperson that this is not the first time that the board has done this, but the reason tonight, because there were a lot of folks in attendance without wearing masks. We're live in Ashburn tonight. Justin Hinton, 7 News.
Justin, thank you. And this all means that for now, masks are still required in Loudoun, and students who don't follow these rules will have to then follow the next steps. While showing the tweet from Governor Youngkin asking families to follow school rules while awaiting court rulings, Superintendent Scott Zeigler addressed the behavior of parents.
It is possible, I think, to disagree on policy and to do that in a way that is not contentious, is not abusive. Those that support mask mandates are not child abusers. Neither are those who support the governor's order are neglectful in their children.
The next school board meeting is in 2 weeks, and we will monitor that closely.
In Stafford County, it was a similar situation. Parents came out in droves to talk about the mask mandate there. Now, let me give you a live feed to show you what's going on as this meeting continues as we speak. Signs are supporting choice for parents. They were left in view of the camera, pointed at the public seating after the open comment period ended, which was just a short time ago. Stafford's board voted to stick with the mask mandates last week, citing the state law over the governor's order. Now, it also was scheduled to take up the issue of substitute pay amid the shortage, a plan to raise what's offered for priority dates, the remaining Fridays of the school year, as those days that have higher requests for time off.
In Fairfax County, the Board of Supervisors voted 8-1 to support the school district's mask mandate. In a letter to Governor Youngkin, the board says it simply can't afford more students, teachers, and staff absences. They want a group of local health officials to work with state leaders to craft metrics for when it will be safe to remove mask mandates. We'll let you know if the governor responds to that. Meanwhile, tonight we spoke with a principal in that county tasked with enforcing the mandate. Here's her message to parents who look forward to the day they can send their kids to school without a mask.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We do not pass it on in the bloodstream. The only way that we can inherit the freedoms that we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, and hand it to them with the knowledge they must do the same.
Excuse me.
If we don't, we may very well spend...
Youngkin has encouraged parents to follow their principal's guidelines for now and to trust the legal process.
And tonight we should let you know that an email tip line has been set up for parents to reach out to Virginia schools or tell what's going on. Now, we have placed that address on WJLA.com. The governor says that is to raise concerns from masks to curriculum. With the crisis in the classroom in the district, students walked out of class today demanding more online options to protect against COVID outbreak.
While in Loudoun County, we're getting a first look at how students who refuse to wear a mask in the classroom are spending their day. More on that in just a moment. All this as Virginia's largest school district returns to the classroom for the first time since Governor Glenn Youngkin's order took effect, making masks optional.
And that is an order that Fairfax County rejected and is currently suing to block. New tonight, 7 News' Heather Graff now is joining us live with all new perspective from a school principal tasked with enforcing the mask mandate. Heather, that's a tough job.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Jonathan. Such a tough job these principals are facing. And Governor Youngkin himself has asked people to listen to school principals as the entire Commonwealth waits for the courts to weigh in on this.
Signs posted near the front door here at Sleepy Hollow Elementary remind students to mask up.
All right, friends.
But inside the classroom, the focus is on education.
A-E-I-O-U, I know them all by name.
And Principal Maddie Fallon hopes to keep it that way for her 440 students and their teachers.
Well, I'm a person who's always looking for the positive and the hope.
7 News spoke to Fallon on Tuesday as kids returned to the building for the first time since Governor Glenn Youngkin's new executive order took effect, ending the statewide school mask mandate. Meanwhile, Fairfax County Public Schools and several other districts have filed a lawsuit and say their mask requirements will remain in place amid the latest COVID surge.
Everyone was wearing a mask.
You didn't have any resistance here at this school?
We had absolutely none. So, a very good morning.
But the debate over face coverings and the looming court battle do put school staff in a difficult situation. The governor even put out a tweet over the weekend urging people to listen to school principals and trust the legal process.
And as a democracy, that's what we do. And we're all here for the kids. And I was so excited when he says trust the system, but also listen to the principals.
And to parents who look forward to the day when they can send their child to school without a mask.
Read it again with me.
Principal Fallon's message is this.
I would say so am I. I am so looking forward to that. But we get to that day by working together.
And the Fairfax County Superintendent had a similar message during a virtual town hall last night, but he said now is just not the time to ease up on mitigation strategies. Tonight, we can tell you that students who do not wear a mask in Fairfax County are considered in violation of the dress code and would be excluded from in-person instruction if they refuse to comply with the school district's mask requirement. That's the latest live tonight in Fairfax County. Heather Graff, 7 News.
Heather, thank you. New at 6, Fairfax County's Board of Supervisors have voted 8-1 to support the school district's mask mandate. In a letter to Governor Youngkin, the board says it simply can't afford more student, teacher, and staff absences. They're calling for a group of local health leaders to work with state leaders to craft metrics for when it will be safe to remove mask mandates. We'll let you know if the governor responds.
Well,